Hello and welcome everyone to Women Speakers Association's WSATV. I'm Laura Rubenstein, your host and producer of WSATV. I'm also a digital media and marketing strategist, and you can find me at transformtoday.com. And today we have an incredible topic for you. It's actually what you see on the screen here, the power of your voice and your story. I have incredible experts here today who are going to really reveal how we can use our voice, use our story to excel in life and in our businesses. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go and say hi to our guest today. Hi, Lavinia.
Hello, how are you today?
Great, thanks.
Good. My name is Lavinia Marshall, and I am a speaker. I'm also a corporate trainer, and I'm also a empowerment coach. And I'm the author of Water of Life. Let the Word of God water your soul.
Beautiful. Thanks for being with us. And let's say hi to Angela. Hi, Angela.
Hi, Laura. Thanks for having me. My name's Angela Todd. I'm coming at you from sometimes sunny, sometimes cloudy Pittsburgh. I'm a personal historian, and you can find me online at angelaltodd.com.
Welcome, Angela, and welcome, Debbie.
Hi, I'm Debbie Hoffman, and I'm calling from the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm a follow-up coach, and you can find me at powerupyourfollowup.com. And I'm a featured author in the book, Turn Knowledge to Profit.
Beautiful. I'm so excited to have all of you here today because you all have your very unique experiences and expertise that we're going to talk about with regard to using your voice, using story to excel in life. And so let's go right into that. What advice can you give our viewers today about using their voice and story to help themselves in their life? And Lavinia, I'd like to start with you.
Okay, so since I work with people to really help them turn their dreams into visions, and then also helping them with their voice and their values, the three V's. If you don't have and know what your vision is, you don't know where you're going. And if you don't understand your value, then you're always going to undersell yourself. And if you don't know what your voice is, then there's something missing in the earth, and that's you, which is your voice.
Well, when you say voice, what does that mean? Does that mean the sound of your voice?
So no, the voice is more than a sound. The voice is the very essence of your being. Sometimes we speak before we even say anything. So when we walk in a room, the voice is our very presence. And people see us and hear us before we say anything. And we have to have our clarity about who we are, who our being is, in order to be able to present our very best self and our very best voice to the earth and to the people that we want to help and the people that we want to serve.
Beautiful. It's really unique to think about your voice as your entire essence and presence. Thank you for that distinction. And it really can add something when you think about both your voice in context with your vision as well. So great. All right. So Angela, I know you have an expertise in working with people in story. How can people use their stories and other stories in their life?
Right. Thank you. I work with women and families to help build a legacy through storytelling. And so I'm anxious for people to not postpone it. The biggest mistake that people make in doing a family history of any kind, whether it's interviewing your grandma or telling it yourself, is postponing it until it's too late. So family history is a great way to, for example, they've started using it in premarital counseling and deciding as a couple what you want to leave behind from your family of origin and what you want to bring forward. So if you think about legacy being something that you have a choice about, family history is a great way to get started with it.
Wow. I would have never thought about using a family legacy in premarital counseling, but it's really interesting. And this combining what you and Lavinia have said, it's like when you know what your presence is and when you know what your family history is, you have a bigger picture. You can create what you want in your life and you can think about that legacy, right? That's so brilliant. So brilliant. Okay, so we have this, we know who we are now. We're creating this legacy. How do we actually implement story into business? And Debbie, that's what I want to have you talk about.
Well, I'd love to, because this is a really important topic. And so when you're in your business and let's say you're sharing about what you do with a potential client, or you're at a networking event and people ask what you do, one of the most powerful things you can share is a story about a client who's received results working with you. And to share it again in a very, I love what Lavinia was saying, it's who you're being, it's how you're showing up, it's your energy, your excitement, your passion as you're sharing that story. Because the words are only 7% of the impact. The remaining 93% is your body language, tone of voice, and your presence, who you're being. And so to share a testimonial that a client and their experience working with you, the benefits, the results that they had working with you, like what their life was like before, and since working with you, how their life has changed. People are going to remember the stories way more than they'll remember the facts and information that you shared about what you do.
That's a great little formula in case you didn't catch it. It's what people say how life was before they worked with you, and then during, and mostly what was the results, being results based in a story. Everybody's kind of waiting on the edge of their seats for that. It's brilliant. And that, Angela, I'm sure that's what you help people reveal is what was the outcomes of the ways people were being in their life, and then the presence, Lavinia, that how do you be in life and how do you express your innermost values through your presence, your voice. What wisdom we have here today. And I just want to welcome everybody who's watching. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Gwendolyn. Thanks for being here. If you have questions for our authors and speakers here, please feel free, or kudos. So thank you for being here with us. And I want to get into a little bit more about your expertise. Who do you work with and what do you do? Because I want our audience to really know what you can do for them. So Lavinia, let's go to you. What do you do?
Okay, I usually work with women leaders, those who are sometimes in transition and they're trying to figure out exactly what they need to do next. So they need clarity. And if you get clarity, then you're going to be able to have a little bit more confidence, and then you're going to have more courage. And, you know, even when you get those things, you're also going to need some sort of community or accountability to help you do the things that you want to do in your vision, in your voice, using your voice and understanding your value and moving forward in the things that you want to do.
Great. Do you have a story about how you helped a client or clients do that?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm thinking about a lady when I first met her. She was kind of not in a good way. And but she, of course, like all of us, had a lot of potential on the inside of her. And she was kind of going through a transition in her workspace. And so we helped her make some clear decisions about what she was really passionate about. And once she understood what those clear things that she was passionate about, then she began to pursue a career in that area. And I am happy to say that she has risen to become a vice president in her company.
The power of clarity, vision, and purpose. I love it. Thank you for your great work. I'd like to go over to Angela and talk about what you do, and who do you work with and what do you do for them?
Well, I work with women and families, and what I do for them can be a little complicated. I mean, legacy building is how I describe it, but the best story that I have to share concisely is about a client that I had named, we'll call him Charles. And I sat down with his last living daughter and 2 out of his 4 or 5 ex-wives. Now, Charles wanted to be rich and famous and never got there. So he passed away a few years ago, feeling like a terrible failure. So as you can imagine, he had a complicated, wandering life, and the women coming together to talk about and memorialize him did a lot of things. It healed their feeling of loss about the ending of that marriage, right? So there was a lot they could let go of after we were done. His daughter especially got a nice fuller picture of him and his life and his travels. And he did actually do some really interesting work in Appalachian music recordings and things like that. And we're going to collect them together and place them in a repository so that some of his projects really aren't going to end up being failed projects. So it's a kind of rescue mission afterwards. So there's healing, there's sculpting the historical document, there's family togetherness. It's, you know, it's wonderful to see. And they stay in touch. We're still trying to find a place to, you know, place some of the collections, and it's a wonderful process.
Wow. That's really wonderful. We talked about earlier at the beginning, you can do the storytelling during your lifetime and plan for it, and you can do it for healing afterwards. Thank you for the great work you do.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and Debbie, how do you how do you work with people? Who do you work with? What do you do for them in your work?
So I work with entrepreneurs and network marketers who don't have a follow-up system in place, and they're letting potential clients slip through the cracks. So those business cards are piling up and they're not doing anything with them. And I help them create an easy to follow step-by-step system for their business so that they can turn more of those business cards into happy, loyal clients without feeling salesy. That is the key. It's about coming from the heart and sharing authentically and showing up in service to people.
Yeah, really using the stories there. And do you have a story, speaking of stories today,
of course I do,
of how you help someone do that?
I have an amazing client. She's a professional organizer, and she hated networking. She never went because she felt that people were so aggressive and they were stuffing business cards in her face and, you know, just posing them down with so much information, and she was just repelled by it. And she also didn't have a follow-up system. So if she did go or she met people places, she never followed up with them. And so after working together and changing her mindset about networking and showing up in service to people and not trying to sell, she felt so much more relaxed. She showed up more authentically. Her heart was open. We worked on how to share powerfully what she does, so she would have more people leaning in to want to know more. And her confidence went through the roof. And she shared with me recently, she would never have been doing any of these things if it wasn't for me. And she brought in an additional like $20,000 in revenue and dozens of new clients just from the work that we did together. So rewarding. And that's why I do what I do. I'm so passionate about helping people to gain that confidence and share their gifts and get their message out in a big way so they can make the impact they're here to make.
Yeah, and just your story about how you helped her get that confidence. The power of story is really, it does help people lean in. So, you know, if you can do that in business through following up better and using stories there, or doing it in your personal life and bring healing to your family, or bringing out your voice and really knowing who you are at a core level so you can show up most powerfully between the three of you who do all of those things for clients. So powerful, so enriching to people's lives. I really encourage everyone to reach out to Lavinia and Angela and Debbie to help to support your stories to come to life and make a difference in other people's lives and your own. And that's what we do here at Women Speakers Association. We're all about creating that value and creating stories together and helping you live a masterful story of success. So I want to hear from each of you what the value of Women Speakers Association is to you. So Lavinia, why don't you share?
Well, since I've joined Women Speakers Association, the value to me has been community, meeting other thought leaders, other influencers. It's been wonderful. And also the education. The weekly education that we get is absolutely amazing. It's very helpful.
Yeah, we do have a lot of opportunities for education, connection, and growth. So thank you for highlighting them, and I'm so glad you're getting value out of them. Angela, what has been the value you're receiving from Women Speakers Association?
Well, I signed up pretty recently to be a premier member after kind of lurking around in the associate category for a while. And several of my friends have been in, and I've been watching them go higher and higher in their respective fields. And I thought, hey, I want some of that. And so I'm delighted. I love working with women particularly, and I'm very impressed by all of the work that WSA does for us, just all the things that you were telling us is going to happen to this video. I'm just delighted.
You got it. We have a lot of value that you can't even see from the surface. So thank you for highlighting that, and thank you for joining us at the premier level. We're excited to have you. And Debbie, how about you? How has Women's Speakers Association been adding value to you?
Well, the value that Women's Speakers Association has contributed to my life is that I find that there's so many speakers who've been doing this a lot longer. They have a lot more experience, and learning from them on what worked and what really helped them enhance their speaking career is invaluable, because why try to learn it and make all the mistakes on your own when you have other people who have been there before and can share their wisdom. And the community and the exposure, just being invited by you, Laura, to be on this live call today, and how it's going to be promoted out there into the internet world and through the WSA community. So I just love all that exposure and the commitment that the organization has to helping speakers to shine their light and get their message out in a bigger way.
We definitely are all about shining, helping you shine. And for anyone watching, if you want to shine brighter and be in community with us and get the value that Debbie and Angela and Lavinia have shared today, go to joinwsa.com. joinwsa.com. You'll find a couple of levels of membership there. If you want to take advantage of the maximum visibility we have here is currently at the premier level. It's a bargain, and you get a ton of value for it. So we welcome you to join us at joinwsa.com. We will be back with you with a very special episode next week. And please connect with Debbie, Lavinia, and Angela offline. And thank you all for watching. We'll be back next week. Bye for now.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.